specific purpose and reason for the informative speech project was to get more familiar with the organizational structure of how it was set up. And so that was the main goal, to get us more familiar and know how to use it. And going into this speech, I wasn't too nervous or anything because we had the outline completed, so I already knew what I wanted to say, and the organizational structure was already there, so it was pretty simple once I started going. And did I experience speaker anxiety? No, not really. I guess maybe a little bit, because when I get talking, I like to go really fast, and oftentimes my words get jumbled together. So that was kind of one of my main issues, but other than that, it wasn't bad. But to help reduce my anxiety, I just need to relax and slow myself down a bit so I don't get mumbled up. And my technology, I believe, was adequately prepared. It looks professional, it's nice and neat, and I had it timed pretty well, I'd say. And in terms of organization and structure, the part that I feel most comfortable with and that came most naturally was probably the conclusion, because that's where I get the chance to tie in everything and explain why everything matters and make sense of it all. Introductions, on the other hand, I struggle with those because I don't know how to start them, and they just kind of stress me out sometimes. I considered the audience as my classmates, so that's kind of how I went about my speech when I was developing it. And what worked the best in my speech was keeping a lively voice instead of a monotone voice, because that's boring and no one likes a boring speaker, so I tried to keep liveliness. But I also struggled a little bit when I was trying to read as much as I could without taking a breath, which made my speech sound funny in some parts. I need to work on when I need to take pauses for breathing. And one of the first concepts that was taught in this semester was speaker ethos. This concept has proven to be very important in many of life's situations, especially whether in situations when you want to be taken seriously. So I think it's very important to have good speaker ethos, and it was very important in the informative speech because you need to have reliable sources to back up the facts, and that made you a more convincing speaker having reliable sources. And in chapter 9, page 92, the importance of speaker ethos is more clearly defined. And yep.